All have to join in.
We will do one thing. Just once everyone join, we will just share the link in the chat box so they can join that link.
Yeah, but chat box doesn't even open, I guess so. Does it opens?
No. It doesn't open. Exactly right. We need to share the link on FB group, I think.
Do or like no. Anyway, like you can like send.
No. We need to. We will share the link on Facebook group. It's better.
Yeah. Like do it right now. Like then we can just
Yes,
tell
I think
anyone to join.
just do that. Just share the link. Make sure you share the right link.
That to me you're telling.
Yeah, just share in the group, FB group, Facebook group.
Okay, wait.
With the updated message.
A link has been circulated in our FB group. I request everyone to please join that link. That is the link to our team, the team channel. So kindly join that link.
Okay, so everyone please join that link. Otherwise, you won't be able to like join in the chat box. So if you want to like ask any doubt or anything in the chat box, then you have to join through that team, and then only you can like be able to access the chat box. So please join there. Okay. It's nothing. Just click on the link and you accept it. You can go through your browser, or if you are in the mobile, then you can go through your Teams app or even in the browser. So I don't think it would be any difficulty out here.
और कौन सा FB ग्रुप में शेयर किया? उज्जवल
सात्विक किस FB ग्रुप में शेयर किया है?
मैंने नहीं किया। आई गेस उज्जवल भैया ने किया होगा, तो बोला तो
DSC वाले में भी कर दे।
क्या? अब ये रुको पहले रुको।
We should let it be for today, I guess.
भैया कौन सा वाला ग्रुप में शेयर किया है?
DSC and IT and the Developer Students Club and IT Culture group, not the page.
Okay, so you guys do one thing. If like any one of you have got that link from the FB group, then those who are not able to access the link, please share that in your WhatsApp groups, in your classroom groups, in your branch groups, or anywhere you guys have like any group. Then you send them to your friends, those who are in the meet, who are not able to access that, get that the link. Okay.
Let others join. We will be just starting within 5 minutes. Please tell me one thing. You guys can access the chat box, right? Now you guys can access the chat box.
From where should we find the link?
It is in the Facebook group of Developer Student Club and IT Culture.
Go to Facebook, Developer Student Club, Facebook group there.
And those who have the link, please share the link in your WhatsApp group so that others can join. Easier for them.
Kindly ask all your friends to join ASAP. We'll be starting in next 5 minutes.
Yeah, and in your groups, those right here, ask them to join.
Satik, can you please mute?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Satik, I think we can start, Satik. Are you there, Satik?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, good afternoon, everyone. So I am Saiti Pritam Yogi, a junior member of Developers Student Club and IT Skill Chair. And today here, I'd like to welcome every one of you to this web development workshop conducted by DSC and IT Skill Chair. So, okay. So am I audible? Hello?
Yes, you are. You are. Continue, Satik.
Yes, bhaiya.
Okay. So yeah, welcome everyone, abroad. And so yeah, we will begin right now. So, okay, next slide. So today we have our session, and our instructors will be our third year seniors, Mr. Basta Bhaiya and Ujjwal Jaintia. Then we have our second year members, whom I'd like to request them to please kindly introduce themselves according to the order. So yeah, right here I am Saiti Pritam Yogi, from second year from Computer Science Engineering Department, and I'm in the Web Development module of DSC. So yeah, you know.
And I am Shivam Kumar, not Shivam. It's my social media name only. So I am Shivam Kumar. I'm also from CSE second year and being member of Web Development Department of DSC.
Hello everyone, I am Rishiraj Kalita from the Computer Science Department, and I will be discussing mainly the backend part of the development. And let's stick to the workshop, and let's grow together as developers. Thank you.
Hello everyone, myself Devajyoti Das. I will be teaching you Git and GitHub module, and I am in the web development team of DSC and IT Silchar from ENI branch. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I am Pranjal Das from EC department second year, and I am member of developer student community, and I like to pursue and develop a bit of competitive programming, and we all are senior members here to provide you a background of as to what development is and what are different tracks involved within. So I welcome you everyone.
Hey everyone, my name is Midin Burman. I'm from second year and I'm a member of the web development team of Developer Student Club and IT Silchar. And I hope all of you are really excited to join the workshop, and we will discuss a lot of things. So yeah, let's carry on.
Hello everyone, I'm Nishil Sikhani from second year electrical engineering, and I'll be teaching the front end part of the portfolio, and also I hope you guys continue till the end.
Hello juniors, I am Aditya Agrawal. I am from Computer Science and Engineering Department. Am I audible?
Yeah, Aditya.
I am from Computer Science Engineering Department, and I am in the web module of DSC.
Okay, thank you everyone. So from here, I'd like to hand over to Ujjwal Bhaiya, our senior executive of DSC, to guide us through the workflow and tell us a little bit about what is DSC and what are its different activities. So Ujjwal Bhaiya. Hello, Ujjwal Bhaiya. Are you?
I think he just left the meeting. There must be some network issue. Okay, so let me continue. So I'm Samir Srivastav. I'm a moderator for web development module in Developer Student Club and IT Silchar. So this workshop let me tell you about this workshop, what we are going to basically do in this workshop. So our target will be to eventually come up with a portfolio, but that's not the final target that we are here for. Our main target will be to explore the field of web development, to explore different things, what we can do, what we can do with web development. So there are the multiple scopes, multiple aspects of the web development that we are about to explore in the upcoming sessions, and to explore a new skill. That is the main target. That will be our main target in those sessions. So what we will be doing in these sessions, we will come up with a portfolio at the end. So there will be around we will have 7-day session for the workshop, in which we will start with the basic front end part of the portfolio. Those who guys don't know about the front end and back end, just for now I'm just telling you, you will come to know after this. So start with the front end part, and once we will be done with the front end part, we will move on to the back end part and the server side and the overall integration of the complete front end and back end. And once you are done with the front end, it's optional if you want to join the further sessions for the back end, or if you want to join, you can. If you don't want to join, you can skip those sessions. So that's up to you. So basically, let me tell you about web development, what we do, so yeah. So I think the slide is not with, yeah, it's with. I can see the slide. Yeah. So basically, what is web development? It is what we develop simple, like different type of websites in web development. This might be static or complex dynamic websites. which it includes the internet applications or different. You have seen multiple websites for. I assume that you must have seen multiple websites till now. As a developer, we divide this web development into two types. One is the front end part, and the other is the back end part. So what is the front end part? So when you visit a website, so what you see there, that is the front end part. Basically the product that the end user get is the front end part of the website, and the backend is the server side of the website, from where it gets the data and all different functionalities like server, the database, and the different files are stored, the different things which the data comes from the backend, and the what you see at the user end is the front end part. So, and one more thing that if you guys know about the technologies, all that's good. If you don't, then let me tell you about those. For the front end, we generally use we use HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. There are different JavaScript libraries. There are different frameworks which we can use for front end, and for the backend side, there are different technologies that we can use. There, as a Java, for those who want to develop in JavaScript, they use Node.js or PHP or Django. There are different technologies that are used for the server side development. So HTML is basically what is HTML is basically what it stands for. It stands for hypertext markup language. And see the CS, I'm just telling you a short in short about all these things. The other instructors will introduce these things briefly. So and the CSS thing, it is used for styling the content that you see on a website. And JavaScript is basically a programming language that you use, and here JavaScript can be used for different real world projects, like and it is used by many full stack and backend developers to basically for the full stack web development. JavaScript is mostly used. And let me tell you one more thing about web development, that what are the advantages, what are the different advantages of the web development. Let me tell you those advantages. So I am assuming that your strength of your batch is around 900. I think it's around 900. So when you consider, when you become a developer, so as a developer you have an edge over other students, those who don't do development, right? So edge in the sense, like when you go for an interview in your third year for internship, or even in your placement interview in fourth year, so you have certain experience of working on real-time projects. As a developer, you work on different multiple real-time projects. As a good developer, you work on different real-time projects, and you get to realize how things goes in production, actually how things work actually in real time. So mm, you get that experience as a developer, and that experience gives you an edge over other students, right? And as far as I mentioned about the internship and placement, so the coding thing, the data structures, the algorithms, or you need all those things for good internship, for good placement. But where web development comes into picture, like for let's consider the case of the internship. So as I mentioned, your strength is around 900, so all of you are not going to get internships, right? So when you are when you have those development skills, whether it is web development or it's Android development, those skills come into picture, and you can explore different intern opportunities outside the campus. And there, when you represent yourself as a full stack developer or as an Android developer, so these things make a huge impact in front of that interviewer, right? So and when you present your resume as a developer, you have multiple projects. If you are a developer, so you would have done like many projects in your that session. So you have many projects, so you can show that those projects, and that will create a good impact on the interviewer, right? So not only for the skills, but it also has a great impact on a resume, and when it comes to interview, it has also a great impact there. So that's the one of the main advantage that I would say for web development. For now, for you can think about those advantages. I would like to pass on to Satvik, so to continue. So they will be instructing you to the about the different technologies that we are going to use here in the upcoming sessions, and also the how the overview of this workshop. They will tell you about that. Yes, Atik?
Yeah, thank you, Bhaiya, for your inspiring words. So as Bhaiya said, web development and other development are just added to your resume and make an advantages for your increases your chance of getting an intern or a job in the field. So like also satisfying to see your creation, your website or anything in the internet, people using it. So that's it. Like okay, so like as Bhaiya said, there are two parts of web development. There are two parts in a website, which is the front end and the back end. So to explain a little bit about the front end, I'd like to ask my friend Sivam Kumar to explain a bit about front end. So Sivam.
Okay, thank you, Satvik. Okay, so let us understand what is front end. And this, whatever we see here, is a very high level overview. Okay, high level means we don't take much technical terms. Okay, we talk in general terms. Not people who don't know anything understand it. Okay, so let us get an overview. Whenever you type a URL in your browser, it sends a request to the. Now, whatever happens in the server is backend part, and that will be explained to you in just soon. But from the server, there comes a response. This is where frontend comes into play. Okay, so that response comes from the browser. Here you can see there is a nicely edited browser, sum of 4 browsers. So the response comes in form of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript files. Okay. So this is, as you will see in future, is not always the case, but what we are going to do has to do with this one. Response will come in form of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript files. And what browser does is, it takes the markup. Markup is the, whatever the contents of the page is, it take the markup and styles it, and then renders it to the site, like completes the site and makes it as you view in the browser. As you can see on the left side here, there is a Twitter handle. Okay, so let us get a bit of understanding about what CSS, HTML, and JavaScript actually are. So you can see there is a Twitter page. What do you see on that page? I see there are some text, there are some images, right? So these are the markup of a page, and this is what HTML is used for. Okay, it is hypertext markup language. So we do all the markups in this language. Okay, so it can be called the backbone of the website. Now you can see the profile picture is quite small and rounded, while the blog pictures are quite blocked. The username are in bold. The links are in blue color. These are stylings. So these markups are styled using CSS. And to add some functionality, we can use JavaScript. Okay. So can we have the next slide, please? Next slide. So this HTML, CSS, and JavaScript is quite enough for making the front end of a website. But nowadays you see React, JavaScript, Angular, GraphQL, Vue. These are some very advanced and quite good technologies which have made the scopes of front end quite high. Okay. So HTML, CSS, JavaScript, everyone knows, and we will start. And after this, most of the people just leave it at there. But this is not everything. You have to learn more than that. Okay. So this is just a starting, and you must do that. So after HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and any one of these frameworks, React or Angular, you don't need every in one project. So any one of these makes the front end stack of your programming. So HTML, CSS, and JavaScript plus any framework you use, like React.js. So that will become your full front end stack. That is the technologies you will or your team will use for developing the front end of website. The backend editor, I would like to hand over to DC.
Thank you, Shivam. Am I audible?
Yes,
Okay.
Rishi, you are audible.
Okay, so before understanding what is backend, let's look onto an example that one of you might have encountered in every day, I guess. So have you ever wondered how do you log into a website? Anyone? Anyone wants to speak? That where your data goes after you click onto the login button? Okay, I shall
Accessing the database.
Accessing the database. Yeah, you are partially correct. So let's see what happens. After you click on the login button, that's where the backend starts. It goes to a server software. First, it goes to a server software where your data gets validated. It checks whether you have entered a valid email address. That is, you have whether if you have entered a phone number that will not accept and it will return error. And after checking in the server that the data you have entered is in order, it sends that data to the database. It sends the parsed data to the database. In the database, that is the third part which is shown in the slide. After the data is sent to the database, it checks whether or not a user exists with the given password and the email address. It checks there. After we get a user with the data that we have provided, it sends the data back to the server. Now, while sending back, it might contain some excess of data which we might not need at that moment. So it selects the server again, selects the data which is required at that moment, and then sends back to the client side. The client is then again proceeded to the redirect to his profile page. So that's how the login occurs. So this is the backend. So Milind, please, can you go to the next slide? So precisely backend, saying that front end is what is displayed to the user. That is composed of basically HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And the backend can be viewed as a combination of the database where your data gets stored. It is the place where your data gets stored, and the server side and the server software written in any server side language, which can communicate with your database using an application processing interface, which can change, save, or and manipulate data that we have provided. So thank you. Now I would like to hand over the session to Debo, who will explain you about the Git and GitHub.
Thank you, Rishi. I will start with GitHub. Okay, now you have known a bit about the front end and the back end stuffs. So I would like to carry on with what is GitHub and Git and GitHub. So suppose you work in a project with a group of passionate developers like you, suppose for an organization, or suppose you consider that you work for DSC itself. So anyone here staying outside Assam? Like, okay, so many people will be there, like they want to get connected through a software. So now the question is how to connect two or more developers together, how to keep a track of what files were changed and by whom. So the answer is Git and GitHub. And using this we can connect. Obviously, Milind, can we go to the next slide, please? Okay, now telling a bit about what is Git. Git is a distributed version control software. It is installed locally in your computer. What exactly is version controls? What exactly version control refers? Version control refers to a system that records changes to a file or a set of files over time called versions. In other words, these versions help you in tracking the changes in your code or project, and if necessary undo those changes as well. Now telling a bit about GitHub. GitHub acts as a remote repository. It's a storage space where a project lives. We can keep code files, text files, images, or any kind of file in a repository. So GitHub repository is of two types basically. It can be a public or it can be a private. So we will elaborate this in our in the sessions of our Git and GitHub. Thank you. Now Aditya will continue.
Thank you, Debojyoti. So I will be instructing you how to install VS Code in your laptop. So first of all, what is the need of VS Code? VS Code is just a text editor where we write all our code, uh, uh, and as many of you might know that it can be done also in the notepad, but VS Code is a better option as it gives you suggestions while typing the code and makes development a lot easier. So as instructed in the post on the Facebook, many of you might have downloaded and installed VS Code, but who haven't, don't worry, I will install you and guide you how to install VS Code. So let me present my screen. Is my screen visible?
Yes, Bhaiya.
Yes, Bhaiya.
Okay. So we will move on to a browser. I am using Chrome here, and we will just write download VS Code. And we will move on to the first site. Here you can choose your operating system. Mine is Windows 10 64-bit, so I will click 64-bit here and it will start downloading. As I have already downloaded VS Code, I will cancel it. So when your VS Code is downloaded, you can move on to your downloads folder. Is the folder visible?
Yes, Bhaiya.
The browser? Okay.
Yes, Bhaiya.
So
yes, Bhaiya.
There is an exe file downloaded here as VS Code user setup. I will double click and open this file. I will accept the agreement and click next. You can change the default location where the VS Code is going to be installed, but I will leave it default and click next. Click next. Here I will click on the checkbox where it says create a desktop icon, as the desktop icon will also be created. I will click next, install, and it will start installing. So I will click the finish. Before that, I will uncheck this checkbox, launch the VS Code, and click finish. I will move on to desktop and double click the VS Code icon shortcut that is prepared on the desktop. Just by double clicking, the VS Code will launch. Here I have already synced my account with the VS Code. Therefore, it is showing some of the files in my workspace. This is known as the workspace of the VS Code. You can click in the bottom left corner where it shows the profile icon and sign in so that your workspace is synced with the GitHub. So in VS Code, there are many themes and different options available. You can choose them as per your need. Here there is an option of extension. I will click on that. Extensions are very important in VS Code as it makes development a lot easier. So I will show you how to install extensions in VS Code. We will be requiring extensions in the further lectures. There you will not be shown how to install VS Code extensions. You just have to type, you just have to click the 4 block icon on the left and write the name of the extension. Here I am instructing you how to install live server extension. Just type live server and click on the extension. Here I have already installed, therefore there is no option for install. I will first uninstall this. Then there is an option for install. I will install and it is ready to use. So this is how we install extensions in VS Code. The required VS Code extensions will be told to you beforehand before every lecture. So thank you. That was my part. Now here, from here, Shivam will continue.
Okay.
Doubt.
Thank you, Aditya. So,
Yes, is there any doubt in
few of
installing
you have
VS Code?
your hands raised, okay? Do everyone have VS Code or Sublime installed on your laptops?
Yes, Bhaiya.
Yes, Bhaiya.
Everyone who
Yes,
has.
yes, Bhaiya.
Okay, okay, I get it. Anyone who doesn't have it? Okay, and I see Sankit Kundu, you are raising your hand. Many people are raising their hand. You don't have VS Code installed, right? You do not
Sir,
have it.
installed, Bhaiya.
And some of you are using sir. Please don't use sir. Use bhaiya. That is great. And whoever doesn't have it, you can turn on your mic and say that I haven't installed it. We will give you time to do that.
Bhaiya, I have not.
You can install that later, as we will not be coding today. We might be coding today, but that
we will be coding today, and we will be
okay.
coding for the
So
part today.
you can install it now. We will give you time.
Why didn't you install with Aditya? He will show you again. Okay. Just it will take 5 minutes, and everyone do it right now.
भैया गिटहब के लिए कौन सा एक्सटेंशन डाउनलोड करना पड़ेगा?
GitHub बहुत बाद में आएगा. गिट के लिए एक्सटेंशन भी कुछ खास डाउनलोड नहीं करना है, बस गिट डाउनलोड करना होगा मैनेज करने के लिए. उसके लिए एक्सटेंशन की चिंता नहीं करना. Aditya, your mic is off, I guess.
I was not saying anything.
Okay.
Have everyone installed VS Code?
Yes, Bhaiya.
Okay. We will no.
Not
Okay.
Bhaiya. I have
Do
installed
one thing.
Sublime Text.
Yeah, no
Yeah,
problem.
that is
Okay,
great.
no problem. No
Any
problem.
text editor, Sublime, VS Code, or even you can use Notepad for now. We will continue with the coding part so that we can finish the session in time, right? So you can use Notepad for now, and if you haven't installed any text editor, otherwise you can continue with any one for now, right? Then we will start with the coding part.
Okay, so my screen is visible, I guess.
Yes, Bhaiya.
Okay, sure. So you can see the design here. Everyone, can you see the design?
Bhaiya, only Microsoft Teams you can see.
You can't see this.
No, only your MS Teams screen.
Now is it visible? This design, is it visible?
Yes, Bhaiya. Yes, Bhaiya.
Okay, so
Yes,
development, front-end development, whatever. Actually, web development constitutes of two parts. First, we design that. We decide what the contents of a web should be. We just put it in quite a location so that it looks good. That part is known as designing, and then we develop it. Okay, so this is the web page we will be trying to design through this workshop. Okay, so this is your front part. You can see okay, for developing this part you must see the parts in this page. Okay, so I can see a navbar of text in that and search button. Okay. Now the heading is a smaller heading and we have a we think second
Shivam, your voice is breaking.
Your voice is breaking.
this is
Bhaiya.
the
Shivam, your voice is breaking.
voice break हो रहा है.
Okay, give me a second. Okay,
Shivam, you are not audible.
Some other member take it up.
Hello, is my screen visible?
Yes,
Yeah.
Bhaiya.
Yes, Bhaiya.
Okay, okay. Yeah, Shivam, you can explain. I'll just show the screen.
hello, is it audible?
Yes, even you are audible, but while presenting, your net gets slow, so we will present here.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It won't get slow now. Okay. Okay, so I was telling that in this space to develop it, you must see it in chunks. Okay, we develop web in chunks. So first, what we see here is the navbar. Okay, and the top section it is called the navbar, as you all might know, and the navbar has 4 sections, right? Home, my projects, my blogs, and about me. And on the right hand side, we see a search box, right? So this is all about the navbar. It has a nice background. Now for the below page, you have a heading. Okay, the Blitz it is called, and below that it's a smaller heading we can say, and below that we have a nice image. Okay. Similarly, in the second page, you can see the same navigation bar is there, but here my projects is red. That shows whatever part is red will be whatever page we are showing will be in red color. Okay, and below you have a post heading and 6 images in a grid show, right? So this is how we see the web page. Okay, so the third page is as similar and the fourth page will be similar as well. It is simple blog, and the fourth page is about you, like your images, what you have done, and your bio type. Okay, so this is the page we will try to develop throughout this workshop. Okay. So we will be starting to code. Okay, now my screen is visible. Hello.
No,
Yes,
Bhaiya.
Yes, background. Stop.
And
Only MS Teams you can see.
and this now you can see it.
Yes, Bhaiya.
I mean the Figma page.
Shivam.
Yes, Bhaiya.
Shivam.
हाँ भैया
background. They are taking.
आपका आवाज ब्रेक कर रहा है अभी.
There's some background noise, Shivam. देख लो एक बार.
Oh, background noise. I can't help that actually.
Move to some other place.
Okay भैया. So this is basically you can see the design, right?
Yeah, continue.
Okay. So we will be starting our code. We will be starting to code. Okay. Let me move to another place. Okay. Okay, so for this you will have to just go on your desktop. You can see my desktop. I mean my desktop view. Okay, just create a new folder.
Yes, Bhaiya.
Just create a new folder and name it Web Blitz. Okay. Let's come back to your Visual Studio and click on Add Folder. Go on the desktop, select the folder, click Add. Done. So in this, we will create our index file. Okay. So this is our index file that will be a HTML file. Its name is index.html. And we will create a basic two folders with named CSS.
Can you just repeat once again? Just one.
The index index.html. It's just, we name our main page as index.html. Okay. It's a convention. And we have to create two folders, one by the name of CSS. How I'm creating it, I'm just right clicking new folder and then naming it JS and enter. Okay, inside the CSS you right click on CSS, click on new file and create style style style.css. Okay, again the main style page is given the name style, main CSS page is given the name style. It's a convention. And inside JavaScript we will create script.js. Okay, so we have our three base files. Everyone created the files?
Yes, Bhaiya.
Okay, so we'll start coding by with index.html. So first the web knows nothing. Okay, what this page can do. Okay, so we will tell it that it's a HTML page by, okay, VS Code is quite smart. Okay, so if you type HTML, it will show you the options available and you just can click HTML5 and it will give you everything. Okay, this is a simple starting, just basic of a web page. Just don't do this in the starting, you will do this afterwards. Just start by saying that your page is an HTML page. Okay, doc type. So I'm typing doc type DOCTYPE. The document type of this page, doc type, is HTML. Okay. Now in HTML, everything is defined in terms of tags. Everything is defined in terms of tags. Okay, we have various tags. Only tags make the markup of a page. Okay, so the first tag is HTML tag, and as you can see, VS Code is quite smart. When I close the HTML tag, it automatically gave me the closing tag. Okay, so you just type less than HTML closing bracket. Okay, whatever it gives doesn't matter. The closing tag is same but starts with a backslash, less than slash HTML. This is a closing tag, okay? Or if it comes automatically, that's great. So everything on our page should go inside this HTML tag. Understood? Then inside the HTML, we have two main tags. That is the head and the body, okay? So we have head tag. Okay, you can type head and click enter to get the tag, okay? And then we have the body tag. Okay. Whatever you write inside the body will be visible to the user. So it's the body tag which is visible to the user, the body tag. Okay. So we can write as a custom here, hello world. Okay. And we can right click on our HTML page. Okay, give it a save. Control is to save. Give right click to it. And here is open with live server. Okay. Everyone found that open with live server? And you found that, right?
Yes, we.
Okay, so just click open with live server. A browser will be created and it will display hello world. Okay. If the Aditya showed how to download the live server extension, you can always come here, right here live server, and live server extension will be there. You just install it. Okay. If you have it, that's good. So inside the head, what is inside the head? So the doc type HTML says that it's a HTML page, and now the HTML tag, whatever is between this HTML tag, will be considered body site. What the head contains? Okay, so the head contains all the titles, what your page will be called, all the links what will be connected to this website. Okay, so in the head we first give it a title and give it a title of web Blitz. Okay, give it a save, go to your server. Okay, and it says nothing. Now you have to link your style page to it. Okay, so click link, and in the href, okay, when you click link, you will get the link tag. Okay, and it's a self-closing tag. In the rel it is written style sheet, and in href is where we will write the link. Okay, href, and the link is /css style.css. Now whatever style we will do here will be reflected here. Okay, so this was the basic. Okay, now let us start with the tags. What tags do we have? So we have a h1 tag. H1 tag means heading 1 tag. Heading. So heading, there are 6 heading tags: H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, and H6. And these are based on, dependent on their sizes. Okay. So H1 tag, if you write hello and see on your website, it will display hello in very big fonts. Now similar thing you can do with H2. Back below to H6, so that we can see the differences. Okay, So this is H1, this is H2, and down to this is H6. That is quite slow, right? Quite small. Now we have a very important, like it is the most widely used tag. This is known as div tag. So you write less than, div, greater than, and close it. So whatever goes inside the div becomes the one division of a page, okay? It becomes one division of a page. We'll go into the details. And previously there was no much division of tags, but nowadays there are many named already named tags. So one of the tag is nav tag, NAV tag. Nav tag, that is the navigation. Okay, so if you want to make a navigation, we do this, and now we are going to code in this. Okay, so this was the HTML, and let us see how we create the CSS. Okay, so in CSS we have to target each of these values. Okay, this nav, this div, this h1, this h2, whatever we want to style, we will target that. And how do we target that? We just write the name h1 curly braces, give it a color red. Okay, so the h1 tag should appear in red, and you see it appears in red. Okay, so this shows that your HTML is connected, your CSS page is connected nicely to HTML, and HTML reflects on the web page. Okay, now there can be infinite number of h1 tags on a page, there can be infinite number of div tags on a page. Okay, so to differentiate the tags from one another, we can give two things to a tag. One is class, second is ID. Okay, so we can give this navigation a class. You just in the nav tag, you just before this closing tag, okay, before the where it is closed by a greater than sign, you just write class is equal to, and inside double commas, inverted commas, you can write whatever class name you want to give, navigation. Okay, so you can give this navigation a class of navigation. You can also give this division a class of headings. Okay, and there you can also give it an ID. For ID, you hit a space, give an ID is equal to, inside double inverted comma, you give any heading. So you can give a first heading. And why are we using this class and headings? To differentiate different elements of same type. Okay, you guys are getting that or not? Are you guys understanding?
Yes, Bhaiya. Bhaiya, just the style part I could not grab. How to change the color?
Okay. I'll do it. Okay, again. So styling, there are three kind of styling. Either you can do it in a separate file, or you can do it here only. Okay, so inside the head or below the head, you can give a tag. Style is also a tag in HTML. So just write style, and there will come a tag known as style tag. So opening style tag and closing style tag. Okay, so we can give style in the same file, and now I suppose it will be more clearer. Okay, so in style, how you just assume, if you have to give a style to any of the element, how will you think you will give it? So the page must know what part you are applying the styles to. Okay, so if you want to apply the style to this hello, this first hello, how can you specify that? So you specify that with the name of the tag, that is h1. Is it clear now? So you specify how can you say that I want to style. Okay, it's only hellos here. So let's say Shivam, let's say Kumar, and let's say Aditya. Okay, and h6 is too small. Let me give it an h4 so we can see what's happening. Okay, so let us see. So Shivam, Kumar, and Aditya. Okay, these are three names we have. So we want to give. Let me get rid of this because it's confusing. So let's say we want Shivam in red, Kumar in yellow, and Aditya in green. Okay, so how are we going to specify that? So in style, we specify it with the name of element, class or ID. So let us not consider the class and ID first. Let us just consider the element name, which is already provided by the HTML, like the developers of HTML. So here Shivam is in H1. So we write here the name of the element, that is H1. In style, H1 is a selector that will select all the H1s in this page. Okay. And now to select it, we write the element name, that is H1, give a curly braces, enter, starting curly braces, ending curly braces. Between these, whatever we'll write will apply to the H1. Okay. Between these, whatever we will write will apply to the H1. Now we can only apply the properties that were already given to us. Okay, that are already defined. Such a property is known as the color property. So we can give it a color of red. So H1 should be in red color. Similarly, we can select the H2. Here we can see Kumar is in H2, right? Kumar is in H2, right? So we can select H2.
Excuse me, Bhaiya. Bhaiya, after red, did you put a semicolon?
Okay. What are you asking again, sis?
Sir, after color red, did you put a semicolon? It is not visible.
Semicolon. Yeah, it's a semicolon. Color, colon, red, semicolon. Okay. Color, a colon, red, and a semicolon. And all of this is inside a curly braces. And before that is the name of selector. Your voice is cracking.
Bhaiya, can you?
Can I? I can't hear you. Can I what? You guys can hear me, right? Satyik, am I audible?
Yes, Bhaiya.
Yes, Bhaiya.
Yes, Bhaiya.
Yes, Shivam, you are audible.
Yes, Bhaiya.
Okay.
Shivam, is this up a bit and like go into the Navbar part? Okay.
Yeah, we'll go soon. At least they have to know the basics. So here we selected H1 and gave it a color red. Everyone got that, right?
Yes, Bhaiya.
Did you know? Okay. Now again we can select the H2, that is Kumar, and give it a color. A color of green, right? Similarly, we can give Aditya a color of something, but yeah, let Aditya be black. So we go to our server and we will see Shivam in red and Kumar in green. Okay. Now there are also predefined property known as background color. And background dash color colon, whatever color you prefer. I will go with yellow here, and then a semicolon. Okay. and we will go to the live server to see the H1 has a background color of yellow here. Okay. You guys got that, right?
Yes,
Bhaiya,
Yes. Huh.
Bhaiya, what is the purpose of that link rel? I mean, after the title,
Yeah, this one, right? So we
the
are
style
styling,
sheet
right?
one.
Yeah, I got it. So we are styling here inside this style sheet, okay? But it is not preferred. Like we will have 1,000 lines of HTML and 1,000 lines of CSS. We don't want that in a single file. So we separate it. We just Control X for cut. We put it in a separate file. Okay, we put it in a separate file. Now, how will this HTML page know that the style it has to take from this file? So this link is to tell the HTML that you have to link yourself with this file, which is located at this position. This is the relative path. I'll come to it. So the styles are located at this particular location, and you have to take the styles from there. So I have omitted the styles from here and put it in this file. So how does this HTML page know that it has to take the style from there? This line of code will tell it. Okay, just go there and fetch the styles. So we can see the styles are still there. So your question is answered, I guess.
Yeah, Bhaiya.
Okay, and how do we write that? So we just write less than link for link space relative sheet is rel, that is style sheet. Style sheet, right? And then we will give it a type of CSS or style. And then we'll give the link link. And link, so let us understand the relative part here. So in the link part, what we'll do is dot slash represent the current directory. Okay, dot slash represent what? The current directory. So where this HTML file is, HTML file is in the top level code. Here is the HTML. So dot slash is the current directory, and after slash we can give it to go in CSS. So CSS slash, this means after the current directory, just go into the CSS. Go into the CSS and fetch what? Fetch style.css. sty.css. Okay. So this is how we define it. Okay. So this is how styles can be given. Here is a one style, and there is also a type of styling known as inline styling. Here in after H1, okay, before the closing of H1, after H1 we can give a space and write style is equal to, and just wrap it in a inverted comma, just give it a color of orange. Okay, and we will see that Shivam has become orange for now. You can see that it's orange now. So these are the few basics you needed to know. Now let us build. So we saw this design, right? So let us build this, try to build this navigation over here. Okay, so what do you see in that navigation? What I see is the navigation have a few of height. It is nicely centered. You can see some of a space left in the left side and some of the space in the right side. It is nicely centered. Then we have home, my project, blocks, and about me, and a little text bar. Okay, so we will try to design that. Good. We will get rid of this div. So we will create a header. So we'll create a header. What is this header? This is again tag which is already provided by HTML for us to use. Okay, so header contains the main part, top level part of a web page. Generally it is the navigation bar, but it can also be a navigation bar with an image. There are different kind you will see. Okay, so the header is contains the top part, okay, the top level. And inside the header, what we have, we can give it a div. Of course we can give it a div, but we have a nice element known as nav, right? So inside the header we will create a nav. Okay, so this will be the header. In the design, this is the header. This will be the navbar containing all the elements. And what elements do we have? We have a list, right? So I didn't show you list. There are two type of list: ordered list and unordered list. Okay. So let us briefly see that. Let us create an unordered list. For that, you will click UL for unordered list. Click enter. And then inside the unordered list, you can create list items. Okay, li for list items, and give it item 1, item 2, list, item 2, list, item 3. Okay, let us see what it looks like. See, you have created an unordered list of 3 items, item 1, 2, and 3. Of course, you can create an ordered list. Okay, that stands for OL, ordered list. Click enter, you'll get your tag. Just paste all the items here and you will see the difference. So the ordered list is ordered 1, 2, and 3, while the unordered list just is nicely styled with this circular dot. Okay, so you understand the difference between ordered and unordered list. And what do you see here? And list of ordered item or unordered item? It's a list of unordered items. So we will create a list inside the nav. We will create a unordered list. We will have 4 list items. As I said already, VS Code is quite smart. So you can just write li cross 4, li star 4, star for multiplication 4. Click enter and you will get 4 lists. Okay. Again, I don't encourage you to use these things right now. You just know these things. You just try your hands on, write code, and once you are excel in this, you can use these things. Of course, you will. Everyone uses it. Okay. So the first, you guys got the list thing or not?
Yes, Bhaiya.
Yes, Bhaiya.
Okay.
Yes, Bhaiya.
Okay.
Yes, Bhaiya.
Okay. So what you have is an unordered list, and the list, the first item was home. You remember? The second item was my projects. My projects. The third item was blocks. And the fourth item was about. Okay. So we should have an unordered list of 4 items. Yeah, we have that. Okay. Now what we have, okay, you just complete this. Okay. Now we had also a search box, right? Search box. And in HTML, the search box is created with the help of what? Input. Input is a self-closing tag. Okay. Input tag with a type of text. So we should see an input tag. It's an input tag, input tag input with a type of text. What kind of input are you expecting from the user? That will be provided with the help of text. Okay. So here we have our input tab. We can write something and search for it. Okay? You guys got it?
Yes, Bhaiya.
Okay,
Yes.
so
Yes,
uh,
Bhaiya.
okay, so HTML is this only, right? Okay, so all this header has this much of markup only. These four list items and a search box. This is the markup of this navigation bar. Okay, just the markup. Now, why it looks so good and why it looks so bad is just because of the styling. Okay, styling part. See how they are aligned. It all comes under the CSS styling, and this is what we will dive into. But first, we need to see that there are four list items, and some are red and others are black. So how will we differentiate the list item from one another? So for that, we will define classes to each of them. Okay, and many items can have same classes. So the items on okay, we will define classes. Why do we define classes? So that the accessing of a particular tag is easier in the CSS part. Okay, we can have unlimited amount of list item. To differentiate those, we can have many unordered lists. To differentiate those unordered list from this unordered list, we will give this unordered list a class. Okay, so you understood why we give classes? Anyone having a doubt why we use okay, once we get into action you guys might understand it. So let us give this header a class of header only. Okay, and this navigation a class of navigation. Okay, we will give this unordered list a class of what is this list? This is a navigation list. So I write nav.list. Okay, and for the list items, okay, I'll show you something else here. So if I put here my mouse and click control on my mouse, sorry, click control on my keyboard, I'm sorry, and wherever I click my mouse, I will get access to all those positions at the same time. Okay, so I got access to four positions, four lists at the same time. I will give it a space class, and all will have the same class because they are in the same hierarchy. Okay, all the lists are at the same level. So I'll give it list dash item. Okay, so we will come to the header style part. Should we come to the style part or design it here only? You guys suggest. There are two type of designing. We can design right here or we can design in CSS. What do you guys prefer for today's video? I mean today's tutorial.
In CSS, Bhaiya.
Do it here.
In
CSS. Bhaiya.
In CSS file. Okay, great. So here, okay, let me write something here. You guys can see there is a space here above the home, and on the left side here on the left side of search box there are quite a space, and if I give my body a background color of black, let us say, so this applies to the whole body. Okay,
Bhaiya,
so yeah.
how to select all the list items together? We have to press control and what?
Yeah, control and click wherever you want to select the pointer, you just click from your mouse. Okay, I just click here and here and here. I'm just left clicking my mouse or single clicking on your laptop keyboard, and I'm holding the control. Okay, I'm not leaving the control, I'm holding the control and writing all over. Wherever I write control, all will be selected. And if I write A, everywhere I will get A. A. See? Everywhere A. Got that right?
Yes, sir.
Back to normal. So you need to understand that every browser have their own styles. So this nice spacing that is left is the styling of this browser. Like I'm using Chrome, this is the styling of Chrome, and I don't want Chrome to interfere with my styling. Okay, so I will just apply my own style. Okay, this is okay. In CSS, we will study selector. Okay, this is called universal selector. This will select each and every element of the upcoming of the entire HTML page. Okay, star is called universal selector. It will select everything. Okay, and I want to give it a margin of 0 and give it a padding of 0. And what is margin and what is padding? Okay, let me explain that to you. On your browser, you can come. You are comfortable till now, right? You guys are comfortable?
Yes, Bhaiya.
Okay, so I'm going to explain what is margin and what is padding. Okay, so just come on your browser, right click, go to inspect. This is a very nice developer tool, okay, provided by Google. Below that, you will see this thing here, okay. So this is known as the box model. This is known as the box model. So in the core, you can see there is the content. So in the core, we have content, and if we want to separate the content from other things, we get padding, border, and margin. So in the box model, in the core, we have content. The padding wraps the content. The padding wraps the content. The border separates the element from all the other elements. Okay. The border separates this element from all the other elements. This border is this border will wrap padding, and this margin will wrap the border. Okay, margin will be outside the border. It will separate different elements. Okay, so this is the box model. Content, then comes padding, then comes border, then comes margin. Let me show you an example so that you can understand it clearly. We will give a H1 tag. Okay. You guys know how to comment it. Just select it all and press Control slash. Control slash will comment out your code. This code won't be effective. Okay. So we have Shivam. So let us see where is Shivam. Here is our Shivam. Here is our style tag for now. We will select H1, give it a color of red, a background color of yellow, and box sizing border box. Okay, so that we can see. Okay, we have also property known as text align. Text align aligns the text. Okay, Shivam was in the left. We can say text align of Shivam can be either left, right, or center, whatever. So center gives us a nice centering. Okay. Now let us see what is padding. Okay, PADD. What is padding? What is padding? Let us see. Padding is, let us give us it's a padding of 30 pixels. We can see the length increases. 30 pixel up, 30 pixel down, 30 pixel left, 30 pixel right. So this is padding. We can also give it a border. Border of 1 pixel. Okay, you will remember, we will get all that. Okay, just see, this is how it is done. Solid black. Border is 1 pixel solid black. It will wrap around this, so we can see the border, right, wrapping the padding. Okay, now let us give it a margin. Margin, let us give 30 pixels. Okay, and let us see what happens. See, this is the margin. Around the border there is a margin. So you guys understood, this was the content Shivam. It was nicely wrapped by the padding, then comes the border, and then comes the margin. You guys got that?
Bhaiya, padding part not got. Can you please repeat?
Okay, so okay, I know how to explain it to you. So this is padding. I gave 30 pixel, right? Let me give 300 pixel. Is it clearer now? You saw that? This was
Yes.
the content, and this is all the padding. 300 pixel left, 300 pixel right, up, down, everywhere. Clear?
Yes, Bhaiya.
Good. So this is what I did. This was just to showcase you. Now let us get back to what we were doing. So we were in the nav bar. So how to remove the comment? Select all and then again control slash. This will create this. This would remove that. So now the heading, we can see here, the heading had some height, right? Some height. So let us here, we just margin 0, padding 0 says that whatever the properties of the browser were, don't apply to that. Apply my styling, that is margin 0, padding 0, and this is an important property, box sizing, that we'll learn in future. Okay, when we will explaining the CSS part in detail, you will learn box sizing. Okay, so this is initial. Okay,
Bhaiya,
now
sorry for interruption.
okay,
Bhaiya, can you be little bit slow? Actually, we are doing along with you, so we are facing difficulty.
okay, sure thing. So a star is a universal selector. This will select everything. We gave it margin of 0, padding of 0, and box sizing of border box. BOX SIJX, SIZING sizing, that is border box. Okay. Now let us select our header. So in CSS, we select the given elements like the body, header, nav. We select it by their name. If we have to select the class, we do it by a dot operator. So dot HELDER, dot element name. This is what, this will select this header. Okay, this will select this header. So dot, we say dot and the name. Okay, just do dot and give it a name, header. So we will say it a height of colon 70 pixel, let us say, semicolon. Okay, so it has a height of 70 pixel. It should have a width of 100 viewport width. 100 viewport width. What is viewport width? Whatever device you are using, either mobile or phone, the width of its viewport, width of its screen is known as viewport width. So we want our the viewport width. Also, we want the background color. You see, it was like sky blue. It was like blue, right? we can just come, we can just hover it, like put your mouse. Okay, there's a thing known as hex code. Okay, hex code, which is used to define the color. So the hex code, I know the hex code of that is, you can write with me, has, hex code start with a hash. We say D6 EFF and 8. I got it from the design. So this is the background color we wanted. So let us see. Yeah, we have a 70 pixel long something. Okay, you guys get it?
Shivam,
Got
can
it,
you
right?
tell the hex code again?
Yeah, it's
I want
has
to type coding.
D6 D6EFF8.
Okay, thanks.
I repeat. Okay. Okay, yeah. So we gave it height, from height 70 pixel, width 100 viewport width, and some background color. Okay, this is all for header. So inside the header, what we have? We have our navigation. So let us give some styling to our navigation. Okay, for that also we will do dot navigation. Okay, dot and the name of the element, name of the class we gave it. Okay, so we will give it a height as same height as we gave its parent, 70 pixel. Also, we want to give it a width. Okay, you can see here, it is nicely centered. That means the navigation doesn't contain all the parts. Okay, so we can give it 90, 80, whatever we like. So we are giving it a width of 85 viewport width. Okay, so the width here is 85 viewport width, and we to center it, we can give margin left to auto, margin right to auto. So what margin left auto, margin right auto does, it just nicely centers it. Okay, from left side and right side, it equally divides the uh, area, the space left in left side and right side, so that the content is nicely centered. Margin can also be given as, see, if we can give 4 values. So first value will be up, second right, third down, and fourth left. Okay, so margin can take up to 4 values. We can also give 2 values. 2 values, one will be applied to top and bottom, first one, and second one will be applied to left and right. So the shorthand method to apply left and right margin is this. Margin up and down is 0, left and right is auto. Okay, so you can do either of these. Either apply left auto, right auto, or simply say margin colon 0 and auto. Okay, and this should nicely center it, like nicely center your contents. I'm sorry. See, the content is already leaving a particular space from the left. You can't see it, but you can leave it. You are leaving it from the right as well. We can see it by applying background color of, let us say, black. The hex code of black is hash 000. We won't use that. See, the left and right is equally distant, so it is nicely centered. So we have centered our element. Now, what is next? The next is here, nav list. In the design, we can see it's inline, in a same line. It is in the same line. It is not, but here it is not in the same line. They are on different line. Also, this styling we don't want. So we will try to remove that. So we will try to, the name was nav list, nav dash list, right? We will apply property to it as text decoration, text text decoration of none. To the nav list, we are applying the property text decoration to none. This should omit all the decorations here. Sorry, we have to apply it on the list. Okay, so the nav list. Now we had the list here. Nav list items. Okay, we had list items. So let me write dot list items. So for in the list item, first we want to do is display inline block. The first property for inline items is display inline block. What it does is all the elements will be displayed in inline. Okay, we will have a text decoration of none and display of inline. Let's stop working over. Let me see what's wrong here. Of course, here it is list item. I am applying style to list items. That is why it was not working. So apply it to list item and we can see inline blocks. So we have our inline blocks and also the dots are gone. That is text decoration is gone. What we need is a little spacing. Okay, we need a little spacing. Let us consider our spacing here. We don't want any padding, but we do want our font size. The sizes were quite small. We want the sizes of our font to increase. You can apply like 20 pixels, but it is a recommended way to use rem. What is rem? We will see when we will see the CSS in details. Here, write 1.2 rem. Okay, let us see the size here. Yeah, it's good, I guess. And the fonts are quite block here, not here. So what we will apply is font size. We have applied weight at 600. This will increase the weight of the font. Okay, and also what we want to do is we want the line height. Line height to be same as the 70 pixel. Okay, what line height does, it's important. Okay, so here is the text, here it is the text. Okay, so it is written in a line. To nicely center it, the line should be as wide as the navigation bar. So if the navigation is given 70 pixel and the line height is 70 pixel, now the text can be a line in the center, right? You get it? Line height is are you guys getting why line height I have defined? Hello?
Yes, Priya.
Okay, so line height is the height of the line in which it is written. So the line height should be same as the height of the navbar. Okay, that is 70 pixel. Also, one thing I missed is all these projects are linked. Okay, these are not simple items that are linked, and the link tag is provided as a tag. Okay, this is a is a link tag. So we will apply the a tag, that is the link tag, everywhere. Okay, here, and here. So I'm again just selecting all of these as I did before. and apply a tag to everywhere. Okay, and for href we can leave it or give it a hash. We just leave it for now. Okay, and we will move this x inside. Okay, what I am doing is every list item is a link. Okay, every list item is a link. So what I am doing is in every list item, I am creating another tag that is a. Okay, I am inside the list item, I am creating an a tag and writing the text in between. Text here. Okay, so the text which was in the list item, now it is in the a item. Okay, we will do similar for all of them. Log. You guys get that? You guys got this, or was it a little hectic? You did not get it. Hello, you did not get it.
Where can you explain it again?
Okay, so you had whatever you had was a list item, right? In the class list item. Okay, and here you had home, right? What I did is just give a little space here after the class name and this item ends. I gave a tag, that is a tag, anchor tag. This is called. Okay, it has a tag. I have given. I gave a href is equal to a same inverted colon and close the tag. So in this space, I gave an a tag. Okay, and in the text which was previously here, I deleted that and wrote the text inside the a tag. I guess it is clear now. Is it?
Yes, Bhaiya.
Okay, cool. So
Yes,
I
Bhaiya.
did similar for all the four. Okay. Let me delete all this. So this is what we have now. Now by default you can see all the anchor tag is in blue. You can see on your sites as well. All the tags are often blue, but we don't want other styles to disturb our style. So we will define our style to all these A's. And for that, I need to give each of them a class as before. How am I selecting it? Control and then click. So I'll apply a class that is navlink. Yeah, they all are linked. So I'll apply navlink to all of them. And now we can apply CSS to them. Okay, what I did is applied a class to each and every one of them. Okay, so the list item is done here. Now we have to do link. So basically link have three the link have three states. One is the link itself, second is visited, and third is active. First is link itself, second is visited whenever you visit, like if you have already visited it, and third is active when you click on it. So we will style all three. To that we just do navlink dot navlink. This is a colon, okay, link. But this, and don't give space in between. We write dot navlink colon. This is a colon, and then we give a link, link, link. This is link, the link in the a tag. Again, comma, comma. We go to the next line and write nav link. Again, colon. This is visited, comma, again nav link, then again colon, and then again active. We want to design all visited, sorry, VISITED, visited, and active. We want to design all these three links at once, okay? And again here a dot, not a comma, okay? So we will apply designs to that. Then, and we saw that they were in blue color because by default navigation is blue color. This is styling of browser, but we don't want any styling of browser. So we will set text decoration to none. Okay. And for getting text decoration, you can type T and D. T for text, D for decoration. You will get text decoration. Sometime you will get, sometime you will not. We will see. So color. What was the color? It was black. We want our color to be black. And of course, all the links should have a little of spacing. As we saw, the spacing was quite low. So we will give them a nice padding of up and down padding of 0.5 rem. Up and down padding of up and down is 0.5 rem. Space. The padding of left and right is 1 rem. Of course, this is not mandatory. Okay, you can change it. How can according whatever you like, you can give it. Okay, so let us see. So it is nice now, right? A little of spacing, a little of size. It is all nice now. So one thing I can see, we have our background, we have our what? Different home, my project, blog, and about. We have our links. This input box is not in its position. So let us design this input box. For designing the input box, of course, we will give it a class. Okay, and I'll give it a class of
Shivam.
Yes, Priya.
It's already 5:49. Just try to finish this within 2 minutes, whatever we can do for today, and then we will continue to just try to 2 minutes. Okay.
Okay.
Continue it in the next one, right?
Okay, yeah. So we will give it a class of input box. Okay. Go in the CSS and access this input box, of course, with dot input dash box. Okay. We will float it. FLOAT, float is a property that that will float it to the right side. Okay. Float is a property. We will see what it does. We will see. It's quite a good property. Okay. Or if you don't want to use float, we can do what we can do. Okay. This needs a little explanation. So this is a navigation. Okay. And these are its elements. So what we can do is put the navigation's position to relative and put its elements, whatever the element we want to put it, we can put its position to absolute, and then we can place it whenever we want in absolute positioning. In this navbar, its position will be absolute. So this is what we are going to do here. In the navigation, we will give it position of relative, position colon relative semicolon, and in the input box we will give it a position of absolute. So what this positioning does is, relative means with the relation to all the elements of a web browser, all the other elements of a web page, and position absolute means it won't consider anyone else. Okay, its position is its own position. Now position is absolute, so we need to define in terms of left, right, top and bottom. So we want it to go to the right. So position from right is 0. Okay. So it should be on the right. It is on the right. And from the top, we don't want it to go 100% down. We just want 50%. Okay. From top, we want 50%. Sorry. From top, we want 50%. And percent will do what? 50% of its parent element. Okay. 50% of its parent element. See, it is nicely centered now. 50% of its parent element. And to position it even better, what we do is transform. TRANS form, transform, फिर translate. Translate in which direction? In y direction. Translate y minus 50%. What this does is just transfer its positions to 50% of its own height. This is a way of centering, okay? This element goes 50% down from top and shift itself 50% to the top. So it is right in the center, okay? And now why we want to give it a padding so that it is not a square and not that small. So we will give it a padding of 0.6 viewport width and 1.2 viewport width. So 0.6 viewport width goes up and down, 1.2 viewport width goes left and right. It is nice. So two things are remaining is its background color and it should be rounded, not this square, right? So the we will apply background color, and I again have the hex code written with me. It's again D3, D3, D2, and D2. So it's D3, D2, and D2. Okay, this is the background color we wanted. And one last thing is border radius. Border dash radius. So what is border radius used for? Border radius is used for circling things. Okay. So border radius, if we do 50%, it will be completely rounded. You can see. See what has happened. And what appears here is an outline. Okay. Whenever we focus, it has some outline. Okay. We don't want that outline, and we want the border not to be this much rounded. We just want it to be little bit rounded, right? So we will give it 26 pixel, and let us see how it is. Wow, so it is nicely centered. Again, we don't want this outline, so we can set the outline to none. Okay. Okay. Also, we don't have anything written like search. Here we can see there is search. Here there is no search written here. So what we can do is we can go in the HTML file, and in the input, after the type text, we can give a space, and we can say placeholder. There are two things, value and placeholder. So we define placeholder as search. It is placeholder is equal to inverted commas and search, and we should see a nice search written here. Okay, there's a nice search written over here, and we can do it the font size of that search. Font size to be 16 pixel, and again we can do text align, of course, to be center. So we should see a great search right in the center. Okay. So this was the basic outline of our Navbar. We will stop here today. So if you have any doubt in how I styled or just applied the markup, you can ask me. You have any doubt?
Yeah, can you share this recording?
Yeah, it is streaming on YouTube. You can always visit that.
Sir, which channel?
We will provide it. Okay.
We will give the link that the streamed video later. We will provide the link so you can see that. One more thing that I would like to add here is the front end part seems a little bit boring sometimes, but actually the bigger picture is the backend part where it's quite interesting when you do things in JavaScript and you actually write the server side code, you write the backend code, the things get really interesting. So the front end parts, sometimes it seems like boring. Just we are setting the items here and there, we're trying to adjust things, we're trying to put something there. But also front end part is its own importance, right? And another thing that when it comes to front end, so when you have a design, you need to implement the design. There are certain aspects of every design, right? It's UI, UX. You need to see everything for that. So front end has its own importance, but in the beginning, sometimes it seems a little bit boring. But in the upcoming sessions, we will surely move on to the backend part and the server side, I should say, or the deployment part also, as we are going to host your portfolio to a hosting platform where you can simply then you can simply access the portfolio by providing a URL. You can simply visit the portfolio. So we are going to host it. So these are the so these things are much more interesting than the front end part. We will move on to those things once we are done with the front end. There are some basic things. The one was the navbar. The another component that is in the design was the content about your profile. The second another page is there. There's the project page where you are going to show your projects, and there's another page I think about you. There are like I think 4 navigation links. So there are different pages. There are certain components. We will build one by one. We will cover maximum of it in the next session, and then we will move on to the backend part and we will learn how to do things, how to use GitHub, how to use Git. We will learn that thing. So these are much more interesting. So if you have any doubts in this session, so you can ask right now. These guys are here. They will clear our doubts. And after that, we will in the next session we will continue with the front end, and after 1 or 2 sessions we will move on to the backend part, right? If you have
What is the timing of the next session?
Hopefully, I was thinking if we can keep a session on 26th of Jan. Are you guys comfortable with this? I think we can keep it on 26th. It will be holiday, so there will be no classes. We can keep it on 26th.
Okay, bhaiya.
What do you think?
And I want to ask, was it quite boring? Like, was it too much boring? The session.
No, bhaiya.
Yeah, no. Actually, what happens is that when you speak up, it gets more interactive, right? And in the beginning, as I said, these things seems quite little bit boring. Might be, but not for everyone. Some people have really good interest in front end, and they develop really good things. So front end, actually, you cannot develop a website without front end, right? So the importance of the front end cannot be denied actually. So as a developer, you need to build a front end as also the back end part. So both things are like interdependent on each other. They're dependent on each other. So you cannot proceed with only one. So we just started with the front end. We will move on. We will just the idea is to why we are trying to build a portfolio is the idea behind this is to just so that you guys get to know about the concepts of the web development, how things goes in the web development. And this is not the final goal, right? As I said initially, this is not the final goal. Once you get the idea that how things goes in web development, then you have the different ideas you try to implement those ideas, right? You work on different projects, real-time projects, and you try to solve a different problem. In DSC especially, if I talk about only about DSC, then we are doing a number of projects, and some of the projects are live in production, and actually they are very much useful in our daily life, and they're actually solving some problems. So the daily problems that we face, or the problems we are just trying to make the life easier by our products, right? You think that there's some improvement in this, you try to improve it as a developer. You always try to improve things, right? You try to make things easier as a developer. These are all the things that we need to consider as a developer, and also it adds up to your skill, and you get a little bit more edge over other students, that when you present yourself as a web developer, right? A full stack web developer has more impact. So if you have any doubts, you can always contact me or any one of the second year member. We are always here to help you. And in this session, if you have any doubt, you can ask right now. And for the upcoming sessions, if you have anything to ask, you can ask right now.
Yeah, please ask.
Sure.
Yeah. You are not audible clearly. Parth?
Saying that do we get the mail next class? Like you are saying that next 36th.
I can't hear you. Someone else.
Are you asking that will you get a mail for the next class? No. We will provide the link as you got the link here. For this session, we will provide it in Facebook groups. You will see on seniors status, and from there you can join. We will just share the link in the Facebook group. So be active.
You don't need to care about the status. You can just simply get the link on the Facebook group, right? We will create a Facebook group for the workshop, and in which we will share that link. What I say, that link for the next session, right? Or I think we can continue. If this doesn't expire, then we can continue in this link also. So that's not a problem. You will get the info about the link. That's not a problem, right?
Yeah, just be active on the Facebook group or DSC.
Since we've already created a Microsoft Teams channel, so we can post you can post your doubts, and all the further conversations can be done in this channel only.
अभी क्या मतलब फंक्शन वाले से क्या है, मिडलवेयर से क्या?
Okay, so front end is quite interesting. See, you got from zero to building a good enough Navbar. Okay, so it excited me. And you have any doubt, you ask me. Okay, just don't be afraid or intimidated. Just ask. Either you can write in the chat box, or you can just simply ask. Okay. So no doubts. Okay. You don't have any doubts, right?
One more thing that I was talking about the project. So there are different projects that we are working on. So if you really feel that web development is really interesting and you want to work on some projects, you can always come to us for different projects, right? So there's much to do, but once you learn the things, then only you can work on live projects, right? So try to learn something out of it, then we can work on some projects, right? So, okay, so we will finish this session right here. Okay, you guys can leave here.
Thank you for joining. Do join the next session.
Thank you, Bhaiya.
Thank you, Bhaiya.
You are very, very welcome.
Thank you, Bhaiya.
Thank you, Bhaiya.
Everyone is welcome there. We said you guys can leave. Ritvik Sinha, Meghna Boru.
He's on hold, I think so.
Yeah, and Meghna Boru is not on hold. They just and Vardhan Kohli. You can leave. Okay, so these guys were not present, right? Should we leave also?